Okay, so I realise the video is getting a bit long, so thank you for staying with me. There are so many more tools that I wanted to dig into, for instance dig, NSLOOKUP, whois, the specific command line versions of them, because they can be used to get a lot of information about the domain name. But yeah, have a look for those tools, have a look for the syntax and what you can do with them. So we're looking at dig, NSLOOKUP, whois. But the final tool I want to show you today is called TheHarvester. And TheHarvester scrapes search engines for information and does all the hard work for you. It uses those tools essentially and other tools. It can do active scanning as well. It can do port scans, I believe. But it's a great tool just to gather some information, pop it into a text file and focus on those specific targets later. Now, the syntax of the Harvester is as follows. So I believe you need sudo to run some of the functionality. So you do the tool name, which is the Harvester, and then you want to specify D for domain name. So we're going to do, let's just say .gov.uk, might not get many results from it, and then we apply a limit. But now we want to apply a limit to try and prevent getting blocked by Google and other search engines. So we can do limit of, let's just say 100 requests for now, -L 100, and then we want to specify our sources, so we do -B. We can do Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, and just for good measure we can do LinkedIn. And then if we hit return and pop in our sudo password, you'll see that the Harvester fires up. It's written by Christian Martarello. Apologize. Okay, right, so Google's already blocking my IP address. But you can see that we have managed to get some domain names out of it. So we have got some information. We got some IP addresses. No LinkedIn users found. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to switch my VPN quickly if my VPN doesn't crash, which it just did. And I'm going to switch to another IP address and try and do a search from somewhere else. So where's good? Let's go to Argentina. Sure, they don't have hackers there. That would be abusing Google's search engine. Okay, so I'm now connected to Argentina. Let's try that again, but let's go with a different domain. Who do we want to target? So let's go with, okay, let's just go with nasa.gov. And then the Harvester will run, and it will go to the various search engines, and it's probably got a lot of stored queries that it's going to perform in the background, and it will run those on the various search engines, and it will search things like LinkedIn for employee information. And as you can see there, we've got a number of domain names, a number of IP addresses, and again, I think this is all just scraped from the internet rather than passively engaging with it. There are a lot more flags that you can add to it, so I suggest looking at like the help pages to find out the exact like how much potential this tool has. Again, I've not really used it that much, but I'm definitely adding it to my arsenal of tools to use because you just get so much information. I mean, this is what it's got from LinkedIn. It's got all these people's names. I'm sorry for sharing them on my screen. It's probably irresponsible of me, but they are publicly available. How else would it get this information? And you got all the IP addresses, so you could just do like the Harvester -help, and there you go. You got a bunch of arguments that you can add on, and it's got multiple different queries there. But that is the Harvester, another great open source intelligence gathering tool, passive reconnaissance tool that you can use to gather information about your target before you set out on your engagement. If you've made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you very much for watching my video and getting this far. I realise it's long. It's a lot longer than I expected it to be. I wanted to cover more tools, but again, some tools took longer to explain than others. I didn't realise how long I was spending on some tools, so I sort of lost track of time, and I need to get better at managing that. But thank you very much for making it to the end. The tools I've covered barely scrape the surface of the OSINT and passive reconnaissance iceberg of tools that there are, and I'm sorry to the developers out there if I've not covered your tool. I'm sure there are tools and techniques out there that you use that I haven't covered, but I wanted to give a good variety of tools that were fairly easy to use, ranging into a more complex for, you know, new people to the industry. I hope you liked it, and if you made it this far into the video, I would love a thumbs up, or even just a comment to say I made it to the end, because I realise how boring or how crappy my voice must sound after so long. I know I've made a number of errors in the video where I've missaid some sentences and things like that, but after a few takes you realise good enough is good enough, and you just throw it into the editor and you get done. But that's it. This has been Hacks. This has been part 4 of Hack to Learn Open Source Intelligence Gathering and Passive Reconnaissance. I hope it's helped you in some way. I hope you've learnt something from it. That's why I'm doing these videos, is to try and help educate the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. I had great teachers when I was learning, so I just want to try and pass that information on. Have a bit of a laugh while we do it.